Welcome to today's Powerback episode. Look, you are smart and capable and driven, and you have these incredible ideas. Yet you often feel like you're not where you really want to be. You're not where you know you can be. And you see all these people around you fucking killing it. And you're sitting there going like, okay, what is wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Over the last 15 years of working with hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs, I have found that it's not necessarily what you're doing and how you're doing it, but the shit that's going on in between your ears that's actually the thing stopping you. Because you've figured out a million things a million other times, and I know that you can figure this out too. So today I'm going to go over the 5 things. I know I said 4 before, but it's actually 5. 5 things that if you release these things or actively work on releasing them, you can and will have everything that you want. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of these details, I want to tell you that these are the things that we're also going to cover in Realign, which is my new 6-week group coaching program to help you get realigned back with yourself and in your business. Because over the last few months or years or decades of building your business, you have unintentionally picked up thoughts, feelings, expectations, and shoulds and have made them your own. And this is the gunk and the junk that is actually stopping you from doing what you want to do in business and doing it the way that you really want to do it. Look, there's a million different ways to run a business, a million different things to sell, a million different ways in how to sell it. And if you're consistently forcing yourself to do things that aren't in alignment with you, it's no wonder everything has been an uphill battle. So Realign is 6 weeks for you to work on your business alongside like-minded people. First, we're going to focus on your mind because those conversations that are happening in your head are the things that are either going to propel you forward or keep you in the same place spinning your wheels. We're going to talk about what your own personal alignment is and what that feels like and what that means. We're going to talk about what business alignment is and how to get it, followed by practical, actionable ways to do it. So we're going to get clarity. We're going to streamline the shit out of your business and then help you get a plan so you know what to do next. Think of it like a little bit of a business reset, a chance for you to step back, look at everything from a bird's eye view, and work on the business to get it realigned in the way that you want to run the business, the clients that you want to service, the services that you want to offer, and honoring your energy, your time, and your efforts in a way that aligns with you. Launching this as a beta class, so much lower price point, much smaller group. I'm kind of building this alongside as we're doing this program together. So as a thank you, I would love to invite you to be a part of it. We start on April 18th. So if you're like kind of on the fence, we're going to get rocking and rolling here very soon. You can go to LauraAura.com/realign to sign up. It has all the details, all the dates, the how-tos, the links for payments. There are payment plans and options for you. It's literally a no-brainer. So I would love to have you in the class to teach you how to realign your business. So part of what we're going to be talking about in that course, I'm going to give you a little snippet here today, and that is talking about like what is actually stopping you from achieving. Well, first, I want to say that if you're looking at everyone else saying, well, why do they have everything? Why have they gotten this far? What are they doing differently? Like, what is it about them that I am not doing right myself? Well, we're going to jump right into these 5 things. So get your notebook ready because here we go. Because the very first shining star on this list, one of the top things that is stopping you from actually doing and being is comparison. Scrolling through Instagram, going to people's websites, seeing the highlight reels. You are comparing your point in your story to somebody else's. I also want to remind you that you are literally seeing like a tiny, tiny, tiny snippet of somebody's success. What's often missing is the story behind it, the reality behind it, the sleepless nights, the days where there was negative balance in the bank account, the moments where clients ghosted them. Like all of this shit happens. And if you've been in my orbit for any time, you know that vulnerability is one of your superpowers. Getting my branding agency Works & Co., getting LauraAura coaching and consulting, and this show, the Gutsy Podcast, did not just fucking appear out of thin air. And the people that you're following and looking at their snippets of time, their success didn't come out of thin air either. And if they are telling you that it did, then I'm going to call bullshit. because we can talk 6-figure, 7-figure, overnight, billion-dollar launch bullshit all day long. But the reality is that's not the norm. Can it become your norm? Absolutely. Is it a possibility? Absolutely. But if you are comparing your $500 launch to somebody's $800,000 launch, you are doing yourself a disservice. It's almost like comparing the car that you drive to the few and select Rolls Royce that you see like periodically. If you look around you, you'll see that there are incredible people working, trying, screwing stuff up, having failed launches, crying over shit, like having moments. And you may be one of those people. And I want you to know that that's fucking normal. Failed launches are normal. $0 months are normal. Screwed up marketing campaigns that took off nowhere are normal. Having a brilliant idea and nobody buying it, normal. This is all part of the business growth process. Learning and expanding, trying, trial and error, screwing things up and getting so much knowledge underneath your belt to say like, okay, that didn't work out. What have I learned from it? What if I got curious about this and looked at it from a space of playing and experimenting and trying? One of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself is stop comparing your version of your story to someone else's version of their own. Stay focused on you, what you're doing, and the clients that you are serving. Like, what is the impact that your work has on this world, on their lives, on your life? I've been working with Jason from Selling with Love. If you don't have his book, you can go to Amazon and get it. But he talks a lot about impact. So what if you focus less on what someone else is or isn't doing and started focusing on the impact that you and your clients will have on this world? You will free yourself of so much mental chatter. It's absolutely insane. The next thing that is probably stopping you is indecision. Indecision puts you in like freeze mode. I can do this or I can do that. I'm thinking of the bigness of both things. I don't have all the details. I don't know who. I don't know when. I don't know how. So therefore, I just won't. Indecision is this place, it's like a gray space where you're playing ping pong kind of by yourself and nobody's watching. Indecision is also the thing that is stopping you from experimenting, which is stopping you from learning. Because look, you're probably worried about making the wrong decision. Am I right? Yes, perhaps. You're worried about making the wrong decision, which is going to lead you to a failure, which is going to lead you to the worst person in the whole world. But the truth behind that is, if you allow yourself to make a decision and try, again, go into it with curiosity to say like, hey, I don't know all the details of this, but I'm willing to take the next step. I don't know if this is going to work out, but I'm willing to try. I don't know if this is really what I want to do, but I'm going to lean in and learn some more. Giving yourself permission to take one step is paramount to your success. And it's also really important to, again, shut up a lot of that mental chatter of back and forth and this and that and what if and who is and blah, blah, blah. By giving yourself permission to make a decision, you will grow your confidence. You will grow your skills. You will grow your experience. And at bare freaking minimum, you will have an answer. Indecision keeps you in this like wavering state of what if. And you can think about the what if all day long, but it's not going to give you the answer. So what if you took the pressure off yourself, gave yourself permission to make a decision, and then took one small step to make it happen? Like if you're focusing on the bigness of your idea and how are you going to do all these things, you're never going to get to the bigness of your idea. The way you conquer that, the way you build that, the way you succeed in that is by taking one single step today. And then again tomorrow, and again the next day. And before you know it, you've built momentum. When you have momentum, you're fucking unstoppable. Number 3 on this list is lack of clarity. I'm really learning through my coaching clients and the folks that I talk to on TikTok that one of the biggest things that stops them from doing the next thing is clarity on what to do next. Because again, it goes back to the bigness of things. You're really like looking at this whole giant fucking thing, trying to figure out how to make it all work and where are you going to get the money for it and who do you know that knows who and like all these nitty gritty details, when in reality, What we need to focus on is the clarity of what you're going to do next and the clarity of why you want to do this in the first place. If you think back to like a marketing message, for instance, you're trying to sell something and your words are all over the place and like, who's it for? And I don't know. And where's it going to go? And all these like technical details. But if we take that big idea, that big launch, that big program, that big service, that big something you're developing, and we break it down into the clarity of what it is, who it's serving, and why does it fucking matter? Those three pieces of information can give you a lot to know where you need to focus your time, your money, and your efforts. Same goes with like, do I want to charge this for my program or do I want to charge that for my program? Do I want to do an 8-week course? Do I want to do an 8-month course? Do I want to work 5 hours a day or 10 hours a day? Like, you fight yourself. You fight your own clarity by giving yourself too many options and then not making a decision on it. See how some of these things overlap one another? So, what if you gave yourself the gift of clarity, the gift of choosing? Instead of going back and forth between things, playing out all the scenarios, like tinkering things to death, let yourself make a decision and roll with it. I don't know if I want to open a school or if I want to travel the world or if I want to offer this 7-week program or if I want to hold a mastermind or if I want to hold a retreat or holy moly. That's what's causing you a lot of like chaos in your brain. And it's what's stopping you from moving forward because you're not clear on what you want to do next. So start to focus on what do you want to do next? What makes the most sense to do next? And then what skills or systems or programs or time is needed to get this shit done. A little tough love there. Look, I'm telling you, lack of clarity will bust your ass all day long. I know, and I can speak from it so passionately because I fell in that trap for a really long time. Just so you know, I didn't sign coaching clients for like years. Why? Because I had lack of clarity in myself and what I wanted and what I wanted to teach and guide women to and through. Now that I've gotten clear on that, shit's fucking rolling. There is momentum. Things are happening. And I'm getting clients because of it. Remember, if you are not clear on what you want to do and who you want to help, then who you want to help is not going to know that it's for them. Number 4 on my list is our good old friend, resistance. So anytime I say this on TikTok, it ruffles feathers, I think, in a good way, because it gets people thinking. I recently said what I'm about to tell you on TikTok, and the video went viral. Kind of blew my shit up in the coolest of ways, and it really made an impact. It's one of those sayings that like I'm going to plant in your brain, and then you're going to be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that. And then it's going to grow. It's like a seed. It grows and it becomes bigger and it blooms. And before you know it, you're like, fuck, I can see how that is true. So if you're ready for it, here we go. The thing that you want the most is often behind the thing that you resist the most. Let me say it one more time for the people in the nosebleeds. The thing that you want the most is often behind the thing that you resist the most. Let me put it into context for you. You want to make more money, but you resist looking at your numbers to know where you are, to know where you're starting. You want to be more rested and feel healthier, but you're staying up way too long scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. You want more free time and white space in your world, but you keep saying yes to shit you want to say no to and packing your calendar full. Shall I go on? Look, resistance is one of the biggest key indicators. It will tell you more than probably just about anything, because your resistance can tell you a lot about what's truly important to you. And why do we resist things? You're like, okay, well, I know I want all those things, but why am I resisting it? Well, more often than not, it comes from fear. It comes from the discomfort of changing things. It comes from the new, the unknown. Like, you have gotten comfortable in the way that things are. And so to get what you actually want, you need to temporarily get uncomfortable to gain that thing. So if you really start leaning into and feeling into what am I resisting, pay attention to that sucker, because it is telling you a lot about what you want and what's actually important to you. And the magic pill is, once you recognize that resistance, are you willing to choose different this time? Are you willing to lean into the temporary discomfort? And are you willing to try something new? Last but not least on this magical list is fear. Fear is a bigger word that has a lot of complicated thoughts, feelings, and emotions that come along with it. It's fear of other people's opinions. It's fear of screwing up. It's fear of trying something new. It's fear of letting the world see who you actually are. Fear of things not working out. Fear of failure. I mean, the list could go on. Fear is such a unique word and emotion that is very, very specific to each individual person. And much like resistance, fear can tell you a lot about who you are, what you're hungry for in this world, and probably more importantly, what you're ready to release. Fear gets to come along. I think it was in Big Magic, if I'm not mistaken, by Elizabeth Gilbert. Amazing fucking book, by the way. If you're looking for a book that's like really going to get to you, like, and the feel goods and inspire you, Big Magic. But she talks in there about fear and how fear wants to drive the car, right? If you're going on a road trip, you're going somewhere. Think of the road trip like your destination right now, your journey to building the business that you truly want. So if we're on that journey together, fear wants to climb up in the driver's seat. It's like, I want to go left, I want to go right, I want to take the windy turny road, I want to like go down the side of the hill, I want to do all this like off-roading shit to like really keep you alive and awake. And really what we need to do is say, okay, fear, I'm not trying to force you to do anything. I'm not trying to force you away because you're a natural part of who I am. But you don't get to drive this time. Fear is not the driver on your destination or on your journey. Fear is a part of you, and it's an important part of you because fear also keeps you safe. It's an indicator when something's not right. It really gives you a lot of information. But fear is also some old bullshit. It's stuff that people said to you before. It's conditioning. It's societal shit that tells you that you can't. It's all this other gnarly stuff. So knowing which seat that fear needs to sit in is really important. So in Big Magic, she talks about like, okay, fear, you can come along with me on this journey, but you can't drive. You can hang out in the back seat. You can hang out in the trunk. You can be on this journey to help keep me safe, but you are no longer taking the steering wheel. And that's what I encourage you to do today as well, is to look at what fears are consistently popping up for you. Notice where you feel fear in your body. Is it a gut instinct, a deep, heavy, like, oh, something's not right? Pay attention to that fear. It's really trying to communicate with you. But is the fear kind of all over the place? It's in your heart, it's in your chest. Hell, sometimes you feel it in your left ear. Like fear is like trying to overload and overtake. And especially when your mind starts going 100 miles an hour, that is a huge indicator that there is overthinking, there is unnecessary worry, and this is an opportunity for you to take your power back. That's what all 5 of these things are opportunities for you to take your power back, to reclaim your decisions and your confidence and how you want to move forward in the world, to reclaim who you are and stop comparing yourself to other people and know that you are enough, you are worthy, and you are brilliant the way that you are. To trust and believe that giving yourself permission to take the next step, to have clarity in what you want to do, is going to get you to where you want to be. And that overcoming resistance by getting temporarily uncomfortable and going through the motions and learning something new and giving yourself the opportunity to try is so incredibly powerful. These things are opportunities for you to be more of yourself, to run your business the way that you want to have the white space in your life that you want, to be able to be present with your friends, your family, to go on the vacations that you want to, hell, to lay naked under the moonlight in your back fucking yard. Releasing these things, not getting rid of them completely because they're going to be a part of who you are, but being able to recognize them and release them in the moment so they're not keeping you down for weeks at a time. These are the things that are going to build your confidence. These are the things that are going to help you grow your business. And these are the things that are going to help you have a much calmer mind. These also happen to be the things that we'll be teaching in Realign. I want to remind you that you are so much more capable than you're giving yourself credit for. Those big ideas that you have are valid. That goal that you have, you can achieve. That self-expression that you want to just like bust it out of the gate with, you're allowed to. And everything always starts with making an aligned decision. So if you want to join us inside Realign, we start April 18th. All the details are at LauraAura.com/realign. Next Tuesday's episode of the Gutsy Podcast is about going from a hobby to a scaled, sustainable business. So if you've been dabbling, putting one foot in, one foot out, like starting to kind of grow, like, is this the time and point to grow, expand, and get serious about this? Next week's episode is going to be for you. Until then, you can get social with me. I play the most on TikTok and Instagram. You can find me using @thatLauraAura. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.